No doubt us as human beings are part of God's creation. But there's one thing that sets us apart from all other animals on the face of this planet. It is that we are never satisfied. We are always on the quest to find this or that, to improve our lot, to find fulfillment, to find purpose, to find satisfaction, to live life to the full. But much to our chagrin and dismay, this has proved to be an elusive goal. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to Carpooling with Gary. Except that today we're not in a car, we are in a different setting, just to have a different environment, that's all. And if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and like or share or even comment, and make sure not to miss the next installment. We as human beings are hardwired to acquire things, to pander to our sensual nature. We always pandering to self-aggrandizement. From childhood, we are told to grow up and be responsible persons, and by that they mean we must go to school and get an education that will hopefully and eventually lead to a degree, and then once we have a degree, then we will be able to get a good job and buy a house and also buy a car and find a girl or boy and get married, have a wife or a husband, and work and have children, have money in the bank, and travel the world, drink this or smoke that, and we've made it in life. That's life, and we'll find fulfillment in that. We'll find purpose. Our lives will be fruitful. But we know from human experience that the moment you get that degree, you find that it is only the beginning. There's many more other degrees to be had that can put you in good stead and improve your lot. And once you've bought that house, you find there's things you don't like about it, and you need to improve here and there, extend here and there, or even buy another house, move to another house, even bigger and better house. And then once you need to also, you hear that somebody else, you know or you don't, has a bigger and better house, and then suddenly you don't like that house, you want another house. And then you buy a car, and then you think, oh, well, I should have bought a Mercedes. Well, I should have bought, now that I have a Mercedes, I should have bought a Jaguar. No, actually, I should have bought a BMW. No, I should have buy a Porsche. It never ends. You get a boyfriend or a girlfriend, the girl of your dreams, the boy of your dreams, and suddenly you lift up your eyes and you see across a table or somewhere over there a better looking boy, a better looking girl, and you think, oh my, when did I get her, when did I get him? The grass is always greener on the other side. You eventually get married, and one day you wake up and you say, what in God's world did I get myself into? Why didn't I wait? I could have got a better woman. Why didn't I wait? I could have got a better man. Or you think you travel the world, that will bring satisfaction? Well, I'm all for traveling. I'm all for seeing things. But that will never bring fulfillment. That will never bring purpose. That will never bring real meaning to your life. Or you think you will drink. Or you will drink, and its pleasure is only momentarily. You will hop from nightclub to nightclub, from this to that. You will never find satisfaction. It's all a chasing after the wind, the dog chasing its own tail. Let me tell you something. We are told in this book, it's called the Bible. In this book, there is a book. In this book, there are books. And there is a book called Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is written by a man who wants to hide his name for some reason, and he uses a nom de plume. But he calls himself the preacher. The funny thing is that after calling himself the preacher, in the very first verse, he says, he is the king in Jerusalem. He is the son of David. And then he goes on to say in other verses further, he was the wisest man. And that can only mean one person, one and only person, and that is only Solomon. Why he chooses to hide his name is very interesting, but will be a subject for another day. Stay tuned. Now, Solomon is a very, very good example. In fact, the only example we can use satisfactorily to explain our insatiable needs. He had it all: sex, money, knowledge, adventure, and yet he still remained unfulfilled. He went into horticulture, he went into farming in a big way, he went into real estate. He amassed gold and silver. Anything he saw and that pleased his eye, he got. He had musicians to entertain him for his ears by the thousands, musicians by the thousands. He had women, not 2, not 3, not 10, not 100, but 1,000. If it were in this day and age, he would have had a woman from every nation, tribe and clan under the sun. Tall, short, fat, thin, would have had them all. But in the end, he says, it's all useless, useless and utterly useless. It's all vanity, vanity, vanity. It's a waste of time. Solomon had resources and power too huge for us to even contemplate. But he failed to satisfy this body. This body of ours is not different from Solomon's. Failed to satisfy it. And here we are, with our minuscule resources, try to satisfy the very same body which Solomon failed to satisfy. We think we can succeed where Solomon failed. It baffles the mind. We keep doing the same thing over and over again, generation after generation, and we have nothing to show for it. And right now, we're doing the same thing. Some smart aleck once said, madness is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Are we mad? Then, if we are not, then why are we doing what we do? Then some of you ask, what must we do then? Solomon gives us the answer. After having had it all, after having experienced everything, Solomon at the end of his life was a very bitter man. Bitter that all his work, everything he worked so hard to achieve in life, that in as far as acquiring stuff and satisfying his pleasures, was all useless, was all a chasing after the wind. He came to a conclusion, and it's written in this book, and I'm going to tell you what the conclusion is. Some of you will believe it. It's so simple that Some will dismiss it as ramblings of a madman, but some will believe it, but they will fail to find exactly how they can fit into it, or how it can be meaningful in their lives. It's easy to say, but how can we unpack it so that somebody understands it? My friends, this, God willing, will be the subject of our next installments. But I want to end by telling you what Solomon said, what Solomon found out about the answer to life. How to find fulfillment, how to find purpose, how to live a fruitful life, a life to the full. He says in conclusion, fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man, to fear God and to keep his commandments. Because in life you will never have enough if you chase after acquisitions and pleasures. The billionaire wants the next billion. The millionaire wants the next million. The only thing you need to know is who you are, where you're from, whose you are, and where you're going. Brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, may the Lord keep you. May his face shine upon you. Until we meet again, adios.